Marjorie Taylor Greene just dropped undeniable receipts proving Kilmer Abrego Garcia's MS-13 gang ties, allegedly.
An appellate board agreed that Kilmer Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
And one Democrat tried to silence her live on camera.
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate.
Look, this isn't a debate, it's a cover-up, a desperate attempt to protect a dangerous narrative at the expense of truth and public safety. Let's just get right into it.
People are hurt on your watch.
Gentleman's time has expired. I now recognize...
Mr. Chairman. Sorry. I ask unanimous consent to enter for the record. One of our colleagues had asked if there was evidence if the so-called Maryland man, Kilmer Abrego Garcia, was MS-13. According to the Attorney General of the United States, she posted that the evidence shows Kilmer Abrego Garcia has repeatedly been identified as a member of MS-13 by a Maryland County Police Gang unit, which I introduced for the record, a reliable confidential informant, ICE officers, an immigration judge agreed, and an appellate board agreed.
Without
So you have, is that a court order? Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
She asked for unanimous consent.
Okay, so you're objecting to her putting that into the record?
I am objecting subject to a clarification. Is that a court order that establishes that he's a member of MS-13?
An immigration judge agreed that he was MS-13.
For bail purposes.
An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Hold on.
A judge.
Everybody pause.
This is what we've seen on multiple occasions about the Democrats, as they always question the legal authenticity of any claim and facts that don't fit their agenda. Marjorie Taylor Greene's claims aren't just political talks, but findings from the front lines, the people who deal with this criminal gang daily. But Representative Dan Goldman tried to shut her down immediately in a bid to protect his party's narrative, where immigration, no matter the context, must remain untouchable, even if that means ignoring a violent gang affiliation with MS-13. It just seems that the moment the facts become inconvenient to the Democrats, suddenly the words of ICE, a judge, and federal agents do not count. They don't want that evidence on the record because once it's there, it's undeniable. But let's be honest, this isn't about due process. They want to protect their face. But Greene was not letting them have their way this time.
We're going to let one person talk at a time. You ask a question. Answer the question, please.
According to the Attorney General of the United States, she informed the country that an immigration judge agreed that your Maryland man, Kilmer Abrego Garcia, is MS-13. An appellate board agreed. ICE officers
are misstating
agreed.
what the
reliable
Mr. Goldman,
informant.
the clock is not yours right now. She has the floor. Please continue answering the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A Maryland County
She's not answering the question, sir.
No, she's going to answer the question, and then you can object to her answer.
Can you make sure that she answers the question?
Finish answer. You just said, please finish your answer.
A Maryland County Police Gang unit agreed that he's MS-13. A reliable confidential informant agreed that he's MS-13. ICE officers agreed that he's MS-13. An immigration judge agreed that he's MS-13. An appellate board agreed that Kilmer Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
Yeah, we definitely need more people like MTG in the House. She didn't just throw out accusations, but came prepared with what the left fears the most, facts and official confirmations. She laid out a clear chain of confirmation. A Maryland police gang unit agrees Garcia is a member of MS-13. ICE offers confirming the same. A reliable confidential informant backing it up. An immigration judge ruled accordingly. And an appellate board that agreed without dissent. That's not political rhetoric, but solid evidence that demands action, not objections. With all that proof Greene read, you would think that Goldman would be honest enough to agree, but instead of facing the facts head-on, Goldman doubled down on objections and procedural delays, trying to block that truth from seeing daylight. Wasn't about accuracy, they wanted to keep the record clean of anything against their agenda. The next moment exposed the raw frustration on the Democrat side.
I object.
Have the floor. What do you want to say?
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate, and therefore I object to that being introduced. There's
Mr.
Can I explain? You let her go on.
Go ahead.
There is no final court order establishing that he's a member. Maybe he is. So you should put all that evidence before a judge, and if he is MS-13, he should be deported. That's what we're talking about, but you're misstating what all of that evidence is.
No, I think I'm going to make a point here. You basically just read what the Attorney General said, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't assert that this was a court order, did you? Did you assert that this was a court order?
I read the Attorney General of the United States.
And you have a right on our committee to submit for unanimous consent or a vote if we want to put it to a vote. This for the record, correct? Is that it?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
she has a right.
Can I review what she is submitting?
No, she can submit something to this committee.
I just can't wrap my head around why Goldman and the Democrats are bending backwards to block a simple statement from entering the official record. Probably because they know that if it's put into record, their whole immigration narrative is destroyed. Honestly, I'm tired of this whole he's a Maryland dad narrative that the left is forcing on us through the media. Should we just go with the emotional claim that he's a dad and forget the harm that MS-13 has brought to our people and that he's breaking the law being here? Americans have a good heart, but we aren't dumb. The truth is MS-13 has been responsible for brutal crime across the country. Headlines scream about their violent attacks, ruthless tactics, and their impact on communities. Yet here we are in a Homeland Security Committee hearing, and Democrats' priority isn't to confront the threat, but to protect a narrative that shields illegal immigration, even when those immigrants have documented gang ties. If you enjoyed my analysis so far, kindly like and subscribe and do not miss out on our further videos. It seems that they would do everything possible to avoid talks on MS-13 because discussing it would actually mean acknowledging that the border crisis is a national security threat, not merely humanitarian. Now let's see how this ends.
For the record, that's all that has been stated. And
I have a parliamentary inquiry, sir.
Do not interrupt me again.
The content is irrelevant? I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the document.
Somebody walk the thing over there and let him read it. I mean, get to the bottom of this quickly. We'll hold on your vote, Mr. Ogles.
Mr. Chairman, given that this is a tweet from the Attorney General that is effectively, I believe, consistent with what Ms. Taylor Greene says, I withdraw my objection.
MTG left Goldman with only two options: continue the charade or admit the facts. He eventually chose the truth and withdrew the objection, and evidence was entered into the records, and that's how it's done. This wasn't just about one case, it was a broader strike against the progressive fantasy that gang members pouring across the border are just misunderstood immigrants. This was a win for facts and the Americans who live with the consequences of policies shaped by emotions. This moment in the HSE was rare, a politician refusing to back down in the face of a wall of silence and objection. MTG didn't just speak, she shouted facts that demanded accountability. Then she stood firm, forced clarity, and ensured the record reflects reality, not ideology. The next time you see a Democrat openly object and claim, especially when the facts seem reasonable to you, ask yourself, are they protecting the interest of the American people or politically gaslighting us for their agenda? That's all for today's breakdown. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.